Good afternoon and welcome. What an exciting day for all of us, and for myself personally to be part of this today, and to finally be able to very proudly introduce your next presenter after several years of cultivating what's now becoming a new friendship, a partnership between Miami and Israel. And I know that the presentation is really going to be very enlightening, and hopefully we can take this and go further for many, many years to come together. So please allow me to introduce Assaf Epstein, who for the first time is here from Miami, from Jerusalem.
Okay, thank you for having me. I received a very warm welcoming. Can you hear me back there? Thank you. I'm after 2 weeks in Costa Rica. My head is spinning from birds, monkeys, I hear at night, lizards, so I'm a bit spinned. I'll try to concentrate. Anyway, thank you for being here and for listening. I'll tell you a little bit less numbers, maybe a few more ideas, because I think the field is ready for cooperation between Miami, Great Miami, and Israel, and I explain especially Jerusalem. So, a little bit myself, Assaf Epstein. I was born and raised in Jerusalem, Israel. I have my own company, the CEO of Atlanta 1000, which is a real estate company in Jerusalem. I'm in the business for about 20 years, which is too long in Israel, believe me. I'm a vice chair in the chamber in Jerusalem, and part of my activities are relationship with the NAR. 2016, I was very honored to receive a nomination to be part of the board of directors of the NAR, together with my good two friends that you're going to hear in a few minutes. It's a great honor for me, and I'm also responsible for the connection with the NAR, and we are starting to doing good business with members of the NAR. Mostly, I could say, New York area, and I really think this is the time to start doing it in Miami, and I'll explain why is it ready now. Our size is a bit different. You must understand Jerusalem is the only place in Israel that is organized, but we're heading there. I'll explain in a minute. We are active almost 20 years with our chamber. We have more than 250 members, and it's growing. And we have more than 140 offices in our chamber. But the most professional brokers in Jerusalem are members. And it's also something that's very important to our corporation. Part of my duties are regarding education, establishing good connection, relationship, work ethics among the Jerusalem members and among the Jerusalem brokers that are members. This is the structure of our chamber. I'm showing it to you because I think it's important. I dealt here with, I'm talking about the great United States, I'm talking about relationship with those who passed the CIPA's courses that we're about to bring to Israel soon. I'm talking about professionals, and it makes a difference for you and for us to deal with professionals the same as you. So we're dealing almost with every aspect of the broker's life, including sport, health, well-being. We try to organize the same as you guys doing here for the benefits of the members. We're in a process of establishing a nation organization, a national association. We're struggling a little bit with the Israeli Knesset, which is our parliament. Sometimes we're amazed to hear of maybe everyday's rules, because the real estate market is so strong in Israel and so stable. And it's a bit expensive for youngsters to buy apartments in Israel for now. This is the big issue in the Israeli market now. The parliament members try to reduce the prices, and they think and they feel that if we are not organized, same as you have the NAR, for instance, or the Miami organization, this is the right way and the right path to go over our heads to try to influence the prices by influencing our fees, our way of behaviors, our relationship with the clients, and it makes it different. So we're struggling. Hopefully, we're going to be there soon. The past 16, 18 months, we did a tremendous jump, and we're about, with the support of the NAR, hopefully we're going to get there. Now, only 8.5 population of the Israelis. The Israeli market, the economics, for 13 years growing. You got to understand, you know better than I do. After 2008, after the earthquake, the economic earthquake all over the world, probably started here, Israel real estate market remained stable. And it's amazing. Almost all over the world, the real estate market was shocking, almost. In Israel, it remains the same, prices remains the same, and even went higher. From 2008 up to now, prices in Israel, talking about real estate market, went up. Went up, I'm talking about between 50 and 70% from 2008. Remember what happened here, what happened most other parts of the world. You can see the numbers, and the unemployment, which is part of the lowest in the world, less than 5%, and part of us, talking about Israel, recall the Startup Nation. By the way, there's a very good book in English called The Startup Nation about the Israeli high-tech technology and export. Very interesting, and this is part of what makes the economic very strong, and it's very important for buyers, for investors, regarding the market of real estate. 4 of the most interesting, most popular cities in Jerusalem for real estate transaction. I'm talking about foreigner buyers, I'm talking about Jews, non-Jews, ex-Israelis, Israelis that you have here in Miami, plenty and plenty of them. Jerusalem is first, I'll explain in a minute, but also Tel Aviv, Netanya. I'm not sure if you're familiar with those cities, but those areas by the seashore and Ra'anana, which is a very, very special city in Jerusalem, reflect the interest of foreigner buyers in Israel. You can do a lot of things. Relatively a very small country, you can drive up 3 hours, down 3 hours, to the side, it's 2 hours, that's Israel. So small, but you can do anything, almost everything. As you can see, sunny, snow, you can have beautiful seashores, and for instance, Tel Aviv was nominated one of the most exciting cities in the world, a preferred city for the stars to be by the Hollywood Reporter magazine or something like that. What I'm trying to say is Israel is very, very interested. Very interested. We have millions of tourists, even though sometimes situation is not that stable. Again, Israel is very interesting, and it reflects the foreigners to buy property, either for investment or for residential. I'm from Jerusalem. Jerusalem is my diamond. And because of that, and because of Jerusalem is so important for the 3 religions, the major 3 religions. And this is what I believe the main point of what I'm trying to say here. When people buy foreigners, I'm talking about especially foreigners, when people buy property in Israel, and especially in Jerusalem, the purchase is a bit different. Some buy, same as everybody else, to live, to invest. But most foreigners buy properties in Jerusalem because it's part of their heart. And it makes totally different. Because the decision is different, the idea coming from different part of the head, if I might say so. And it makes it sometimes much easier for you, for us, to close deals. And you got to think about it. It's not just the numbers. It's not how much I'm going to invest, how much I'm going to get. No. If I'm going to see the Wailing Wall, if I'm going to see, which is the holiest place for the Jews, if I'm going to see the old city, if I'm going to be inside the center of Jerusalem, makes the deal different and, remember, much, much easier. So it gets easier to send buyers to us, the realtors in Jerusalem, and it makes it easier for you to close the deal because it comes from a different part of decisions. And I think you should remember this, and we have everyday proofs for it. Sometimes the price is not the major factor, the percentage are not the major factor, the decision from the heart. Try to think about it. We feel it always. I'm not sure I can move forward the feeling of foreigners who come to Jerusalem. Look at the special view, look at the special feeling, the special places that belong to some Jews for the ancient times, and they decide, yes, here I want to live. And some that have a lot of budget decide only from the soul. Now the other part, a lot of Israelis buy properties in the United States. Many of them buy properties in Miami, in Florida. And this is the opposite way we can do business. We have many demands of Israelis that are interested in good properties. I hear it all over every day, and I think this is the right time after we establish very good connections and we have official agreement with the Miami Association that we're so proud of. I think this is the time that a few of us in Israel, in Jerusalem, that are member in the NAR and about to have the CIPS course, and even if not yet, we are ready to establish this unofficial business and start taking back and forth buyers and sellers. It happens, even without our notice, it happens. What I suggest and I offer you, and we are ready, and I hope you are, to start doing it back and forth, because deals are made. Now, as we speak, Israelis that live in Miami, buying properties in Israel, and especially in Jerusalem, as you saw. I think the idea is, and this is what I'm trying to reflect here, that it's a little different at what we are doing on a daily basis, even us in Israel. Because when American and Israel make transactions back and forth, especially in Jerusalem, it makes different where it comes from. And when Israelis buy properties in the United States, then it's on a regular basis, regular investment properties to have in the United States. Again, especially Miami, Florida, New York, Washington. So this is a very good field to cooperation. Thank you. I'll be glad to answer a few questions. Yes, please.
Can you tell us a little bit about the demographics? And are you seeing increase in population in Israel? And are you seeing, I know in a lot of areas in the Middle East, there's a lot of young people. There's a big growth for young people. Can you tell us a little bit if you know?
Not exactly the numbers, but generally, the Israeli population is young averagely. If I can compare to Europe, Japan, I'm not sure what happens in the United States, but one of the major problems is what's going to happen in 20, 40 years when people are getting older and not enough young people getting into the employment market and generally to our world. So Israel is one of the countries that are blessed with many youngsters. I was talking about the problems that our youngsters have to buy properties is because prices are relatively expensive. My colleague here was speaking about prices in Barcelona and Madrid. I'll give you a few numbers. In Jerusalem, in very special locations, again, that comes from purchasing from the heart, if I would say so, prices might be even $20,000 a square meter. $20,000 a square meter. I mean, you have much more expensive places here, but we're Jerusalem. We are 8.5 million. So try to imagine. And if we're talking about growing of population. The market is growing, population is growing, and it looks like by the numbers that 2016 is going to be much better than 2015. So I hope it answered your question. Okay. Yes, sir.
These 11,000 buyers buying here in the United States that you mentioned, are they buying only residential, or are they buying income-producing properties? Is it returns or EB5s, or what is it that they are looking for?
Mostly residentials, mostly. I don't have the numbers because our government releasing the numbers in a very, very delayed time, so I cannot give you correct numbers. But for sure, this number is for sure accurate, and I would say maybe between 85 and 90% are residential. Other, mostly commercial, mostly. This is from my knowledge. I'm not sure what's EB5. I'm sorry, I'm not familiar.
Investing in properties to get the residents in the United States. So you invest in a certain project and you get a back to the residents through your investment.
Yes, yes, those are part of the deals too. Yes, for sure.
Okay, thanks.
Yes, please, Mark.
Direct flights, one of the big items that we see with many of the countries now with Miami.
Yes.
Is there any talk about bringing that back?
First of all, because of the Silicon Valley in San Francisco, there is a direct flight from Tel Aviv to San Francisco, like a few months ago, which is, now it's mandatory because, you know, even the phones that you're holding right now, the computers, so many Israeli invents are in our cell phone, computers, barcode, almost everything, medicine, agriculture. I'm proud to say that we export so much knowledge. Our downside is that when we sell companies, especially high-tech companies, for billions, each and every month there is some transaction. Most of the money comes to the United States. So you enjoy it. But the idea and the knowledge, I'm talking taxes-wise, it's not my pocket, it's our government. But anyway, most of our knowledge, a lot of our knowledge, not most of it, and a lot of the things that we use, daily use, you, I, everybody in the world, Israeli invention, I'm proud to say. So, yes, please. I'll be happy to give my business card, some brochures, and we are expecting cooperation from you guys. Thank you very much.